as marketers, we're always looking for ideas. And so if you can give me a charity or something that we can sink our teeth into, it'll give us something to market and to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm always a fan of, if you're doing a couple of these things throughout the year, at the end of the year, you get a bonus thing to talk about, because you can say, here's a recap of all the things that we did through the year. And again, going back to building those relationships and creating that affinity, that's how you do that. You say, all right, let's pick one thing a quarter. Doesn't even really matter how much you donate for them. Yeah. Let's say at the end of the year you had $500 total, but you picked 4 different things. Well, at the end of the year, you can say, we donated to these 4 different causes, and thanks for your help, patients, whatever. Post that, and it's a great thing to release at the holiday season, and do it again next year.
Absolutely. Hey there, welcome to the Dr. Marketing Tips Show. I am Jennifer.
And I'm Corey.
And today we're going to talk about something worth a really good cause, and that's cause marketing.
Yeah, so I actually had a client come up to me the other day. I was at an event, and he sat down and said, I've wanted to do something for the past, 5-10 years, and I don't know how to get it off the ground. Can you help? And I said, I don't know. That seems like a lofty request there. But as we were talking about it, what he really wanted to do was some cause marketing, and he wanted to donate back to a nonprofit. He actually didn't even really care which one, as long as it related to cancer somehow, because he had a couple people that worked at the practice that had been impacted recently. And he said, I want to get this off the ground. I don't really know what to do, and I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to do to get the team involved. Should we tell patients that we're doing this? I'm looking for any guidance. And I said, yeah, we can absolutely help with that. The only thing that I pushed back on him, this was on a Saturday, he said, great, can I have it by Tuesday?
I like that he says, I've been thinking about it for 10 years.
Yeah.
But I've decided I want it by Tuesday.
Right now, and now I need it by Tuesday. And I was like, that part maybe, let's pump the brakes on that. But
I think we got it to him by Friday, though.
Thursday, we did,
okay.
Yeah. So anyway, what we wound up doing was we said, okay, cause-related marketing, it's great because, one, obviously, the money goes towards a great cause. We're going to help fund cancer research and support for those in need. Awesome. 2, from a marketing standpoint, we're able to turn around and talk to patients in office about something that we're doing in the community to give back. 3, we're able to honor these employees and their families. And then we're at the end of the internal piece, which we can also talk about with employees to kind of get them on board and say, this is cause-related marketing. We know that this is important to a lot of you, especially the younger generation, saying that this practice kind of stands for something. Once we're done with all of that, we're going to raise this money, which is awesome. But then we get to talk about it externally too, and say that we're doing this drive. You can donate if you want to, and we're going to use that in a couple different ways. We're going to talk about it externally as the fundraiser is actually going on, and then at the end of the year, we're going to do a recap and say these are the things that this practice did in the community to help. And so I think when we're talking about cause-related marketing, those are, if you kind of zoom out a little bit, those are sort of the benefits of doing this in the first place. 1, you give back to a great cause, which is always nice. But 2, you have a reason to re-engage with your employees and your patients. And then 3, at the end of it, whatever it winds up being, you have another opportunity to go out and say, this is who we are, this supports our mission, vision, values, and we're going to do it again next year, and then build on that.
Yeah, and it's not to throw in more terms around marketing, but it's affinity marketing at its best, is
Absolutely.
When you are creating an opportunity to have something in common with others. And so, you're able to now, if you've chosen, let's say you've chosen to support cancer research, well then you've got your patients who are affected by cancer and who might have an affinity for cancer research and want to get involved. It allows you to build these really deep relationships that you would otherwise have no reason to be having those conversations. And when you have a great cause and you're driving towards it, internal marketing, external marketing, but then on top of it, it's an opportunity to build relationships with your patients, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where patients will, apples to apples, let's say your reviews are close, your accepted insurance, everything
doctors are decent,
yeah,
your
whatever.
location's okay.
Apples to apples.
They're coming to you because you supported cancer research.
Exactly,
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to remember that too. They're going to say, that's the practice that did that thing a couple years ago where they supported whatever cause, and then you've probably got a patient for life.
Well, I've got doctors, so we have a group of doctors that do joint replacement surgery, and so we always pair them like with the local arthritis organization, and we get the doctor as like the medical director for the Arthritis Association for their local office, and then they go out and do the walks. They use the walks to promote arthritis awareness, to get employees out there all in the same shirts. The patients come to the walks, and then they remember walking with their doctor or with the staff member that helped them along, and they're creating this affinity amongst one another. And that's just one of probably 24 examples of people jumping on board. And oftentimes they jump on board and they say, let's sponsor this. Mm-hmm. I didn't get anything out of my sponsorship. Well, this is how you get something out of your sponsorship, is you get on board with the cause and use that as part of the marketing activities.
Yeah, there's a big difference between actually, taking part in an event and then sponsoring an event. Because if you sponsor an event, they put your logo on a banner and it waves on the fence and no one pays attention to it. But if you're actually there and you're taking part in the event, then you can actually start to see some value.
Yeah, you build relationships, you can get photos and videos for social media, you can talk about, oh, we're gonna be at the event, we're at the event,
right.
Here's what we did at the event,
yeah.
And it's the gift that keeps giving. Even when you were talking to that client about them wanting to do something for cancer, you were actually at a cause-related marketing event put on by a large practice.
I was, yeah. So the event that we were at, where actually that client had a table at that event, and but we were at a at a hotel. This client that we work with does a biannual conference where they offer CEUs for allied healthcare professionals, so specifically physical therapists and athletic trainers, and that benefits the orthopedic practice's nonprofit foundation. So any proceeds from that, they turn around and they give back to the foundation's mission, which is to help underserved kids participate in organized sports.
Yeah, and it's a great way to bring everybody together, gives them a reason to market, and it's just a win-win. I've got another client that's getting on board, and they're starting a new foundation for their practice. They are tying to another foundation that has a name ID in another community, and they've said you can use our name as you create your foundation, so they're going to jump on board with that one.
That's great.
And it's yet another reason to market, to get behind a cause, which can get your employees and your patients and your providers behind in that cause too.
Yeah, and I think if we're talking about a couple of different things. So if you're thinking about an event, it's a lot to bite off, because if you want to do it right, then you need to get your team involved. You need to get, the arthritis walk, for example. You need to have a team there. You need to organize if they're going to have shirts, and then the post before, during, after, everything that you talked about. It sounds like a lot, mostly because people have to give up Saturday, I think, is where it gets a little tricky. For the practice that we were talking about at the start of the episode with the cancer research, ultimately what we wound up doing was creating a flyer, creating some social, blog post on the website, and then I had to set up a GoFundMe, which shockingly was easy to do.
It's very easy.
It took less than 10 minutes, and it was automatically tied to the American Cancer Society, and the funds go straight there. Didn't have to do anything, didn't have to go through any sort of two-step verification BS. It was just pretty much plug, play, and then we were off to the races. And so I say that to say, if you want to start doing this, that's something that's pretty easy to get off the ground. If you can carve out a half hour of your time, it's pretty easy to put together a flyer, set up a GoFundMe, put it out in the offices, let your patients and your team know, and all of a sudden you're doing some cause-related marketing.
Well, and as you are getting ready, we're recording this now in the early September. It'll probably come out by the end of September. As you're looking at the end of the year, that's a great opportunity around Thanksgiving and around the holidays.
Absolutely.
To do some cause-related marketing and to do something that's really going to help. It's going to help you boost your practice, but at the same time, it's going to make your employees and your community feel good. And as marketers, we're always looking for ideas. And so if you can give me a charity or something that we can sink our teeth into, it'll give us something to market and to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm always a fan of, if you're doing a couple of these things throughout the year, at the end of the year, you get a bonus thing to talk about, because you can say, here's a recap of all the things that we did through the year. And again, going back to building those relationships and creating that affinity, that's how you do that. You say, all right, let's pick one thing a quarter. Doesn't even really matter how much you donate for them. Yeah, let's say at the end of the year you had $500 total, but you picked 4 different things. Well, at the end of the year, you can say we donated to these 4 different causes, and thanks for your help, patients, whatever. Post that, and it's a great thing to release at the holiday season, and do it again next year.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things too, you could ask your employees what they care about.
Absolutely.
Then you could
Love that idea.
find some of the top charities in your community who support those things. You could partner with those top charities, which they have an enormous reach as well. And all of a sudden, you've got a marketing program all related to great causes and making people feel good. And at the same time, it makes your practice look good as well.
And a lot of those nonprofits will have either kits set up with graphics and flyers and posters and everything you need to make it very turnkey. So if you're not familiar with doing that, it's, depending on the size of the organization, it's pretty simple to actually get off the ground and get rolling.
Yeah, and the thing I really love about nonprofits is they are always bootstringing it.
Yep.
And so if you are willing to give to them, they will give back to you. And so if you're looking to make a name in the community, to get a new doctor out there, to build relationships with people, and they know that, and you've given a little, and as long as you open your arms a little, they will give right back to you.
100%.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Makes you feel good. All right.
It's win-win.
Yeah, it is. With that, I'm Jennifer.
I'm Corey.
See you next time on the Dr. Marketing Tips Show. Thanks a bunch.
Bye, guys.
If you want more like this, hit like and subscribe so you'll always be alerted to new episodes when they come out. And if you want information about us, visit us over at insightmg.com. That's insightmg.com. We'll see you on the next episode.